Hello, my name is Dr. Andrew Neville. I specialize in treating adrenal fatigue and related chronic illnesses. My patients have been asking me quite a bit, as should come as no surprise, about COVID-19 and some of the fear and some of the protection. And they want to know, what can they do to protect themselves? And so what I've come up with are 5 things that you want to do to protect yourself from contracting COVID-19, or if you did, to have a successful outcome. And they might not be what you think. So number 1 is, I want you to avoid the news. Now, this is a challenge, right? Because we need to be informed, and you want to be informed for sure. But the news today is different than the news decades ago. We can't look to Walter Cronkite anymore to give us, kind of the facts, right? It doesn't matter if you're listening to stuff on the left, stuff on the right. The news is sensationalized, politicized, and unfortunately influenced. And it's fast, right? Breaking news, every second is breaking news. And it's all designed to get you to watch, right? Get you to watch, get viewership up, look at ads, buy stuff, right? But it's also designed to instill fear, right? And have us fearful of our whole world, right? There's enough to be fearful about in today's world, for sure. The news tends to feed that, especially the sensationalized stuff. So be informed, right? Get your news from as kind of centrist a source as you can, and get information, right? Whether that's local governments, local healthcare services or CDC, things like that. Be informed and be smart that way, but turn the news off. Don't leave it on in the background. Don't have it kind of generating, all this information all the time, because it's too much. There's a part of your stress response system which is always listening, always listening. It's called your limbic system. And we want to be careful what information we're feeding it, because it's wired to fear. Okay, number 2 has to do with avoiding social media. It's tough these days, right? Because we're all isolated, we're all stuck at home, and we're kind of existing on social media, right? But it's similar to the news, because now you're just overexposed to information. Whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Reddit, you just want to be cautious as to what information you're putting into your presence, right? Because you're inviting, all this information, these groups, the subreddits. You're inviting these people into your home, into your world. And there's no shortage of people on social media very, very willing to give their opinion, no matter where their education lies, no matter where their motivation lies, no matter where their bias lies. And it's really easy to just type stuff and walk away, as opposed to having a one-on-one conversation. So it's a very touchy place to be. I get that social media has value, of course, and being connected with family and being connected with friends and reaching out and hearing, seeing pictures of, cat videos and pictures of family and babies and things like that. That's the stuff you want to use it for. But you want to be careful of all the trolls, right? Or the fear mongers, or people that are driving kind of conversation. Just be real cautious with those things, and just, you can block people. You can choose not to expose yourself to those things. So be careful, because all those things, again, feed the stress response system. And as you feed that stress response, what you do is you end up suppressing your immune system. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. So the third thing has to do with negative people, right? And this goes even back to social media. We all know people who are kind of glass half empty type of people. And research shows that negativity will cause us to be in fight or flight, right? It'll stimulate stress physiology, whereas positivity stimulates the opposite. And stress physiology is where the problem is. Not that it's bad all the time, but we just don't want to get stuck there. And there's a lot of little things in life that get us stuck in this place, and negativity is absolutely one of them. So feed yourself with positivity as best you can. Again, you don't want to be pie in the sky kind of a person. I get that. Realistic is fine, but be cautious of those negative people, those people that tend to suck your energy. Protect yourself, right? Protect yourself, just limit. Just limit. You don't have to completely avoid or defriend or unfriend or whatever we have to do, but just protect yourself and limit yourself. The fourth thing has to do with isolation. Now, we're all kind of in isolation these days, which is, both good and bad. I tell all my patients, because I specialize in adrenal fatigue, patients that are overexposed to stress of all kinds, those types of people, or my patients, tend to be cut from the same cloth in that they tend to overdo. A lot of overachievers, a lot of people who are overly caring, a little bit overly sensitive, maybe, which makes us overspend our energy. We have a hard time saying no. We tend to be the doers. People come to us to do stuff, right? But what that does is that has us overspend our energy, and then again, get stuck in a stress response, suppress our immune system, make us vulnerable, to infections, things like that, including COVID-19. So I isolate all my patients. Protect yourself, right? Until you can learn how to find boundaries and balance, right? Just protect yourself, put yourself in a bubble. I want to isolate my patients. Just north of the level that they're so isolated, now it becomes depressing and it becomes a stress in and of itself. So isolate, but don't over-isolate, right? So use these various tools, and the social media, use it as a tool. Zoom and other kind of web-based videos, use those as a tool to reach out a little bit. But again, listen to your body, protect yourself. The fifth thing that we want to avoid to protect yourself from COVID-19 stuff is worry. Now, this is a tough one, right? Because there's a lot to worry about in life these days, for sure. Pandemic, but whether it's finances or economics, politics, the environment. I mean, you name it, right? There's plenty, and especially with my patients, we are wired to worry, right? Our bodies are designed to worry and for fear in an effort to protect ourselves, right? There's a brilliant book that was written about stress and the ravaging damages of chronic stress over time by Robert Sapolsky, called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. It's a great book if you want to look and get more information, but I'll give you the punchline. Zebras don't worry about lions. If the lion's there, they deal with it. And if they live, then they go and graze and heal and recover, right? They're not constantly worrying about a lion, which ends up putting us into stress physiology, creating too much wear and tear, suppressing this rest and digest physiology, which is where your immune system lies. The immune system is very predictable when our body is in stress physiology. It behaves predictably. It shifts. We all know that we've had times where, if we were to get busier or have a deadline or have some kind of stressful event, we might get a cold sore, right? Or we might catch a cold and get sick. I mean, we've known this inherently for years. So the number one way to protect yourself from that, from getting sick, even from COVID-19, is to stop suppressing your immune system. And avoiding those 5 things are big ways to do it. So I hope this helps. That's a start. There's much more to learn about this, your stress response system, its suppression of the immune system, adrenal fatigue, how that's all connected. There's some other videos and things. Click the links in the comments below, and have hope. Have hope. Things will normalize soon. All my best.